I've partnered with a really cool nonprofit organization in Ghana. It's called Home Ghana, and they are an education center that are building a school for a village. And the guys from Relief Crew Foundation, who's a bunch of yachties that in their rotation, they go down there to help build the buildings, etc. I've partnered with this nonprofit. I'm running a 50-mile ultra marathon in April. And raising funds for this charity. And we are trying to raise around $5,000 at least, which will put a bunch of kids through school. Crazy statistics here, quickly for the listeners. It only costs $1,100, so $1,100, to put a child through school for 3 years, including school fees, exams, books, uniform.
Welcome to the Yacht Captain Investor Podcast. I'm your host, Scott Kidd, where every week we dive deep into conversations with real estate pros, business owners, and maritime professionals about their mindset and journey to success. Please help support us on our journey and our channel by liking, subscribing, and commenting below so we can help you in your journey to success. How you doing today? Scott Kidd, the Captain Investor Podcast. I have my good friend Charl here, the Yachting Investor. How you doing today, Charl?
I'm wonderful, Captain Scott. How are you doing?
Excellent, man. It's always great to see you, catch up and everything. It was good to see you on the crew check-in the other day. That was pretty fun, and pretty sure the feedback was great. So we'll definitely be doing that again with the financial updates, because it's really helpful. Crew need a lot of help in a lot of different segments, especially financial literacy, and that's not just on yachts, that's everywhere. So, I mean, I know the last time we talked, you were getting ready to step away, and now you have stepped away from the yacht. So how'd that progression go?
So we're at the 6-week mark of freedom. Finally got my land legs. I kind of stopped wobbling around, and it's been wonderful. It's quite an adjustment. Biggest takeaway of them all is yachting is so awesome for having free food and having good chefs, because going to the grocery store every week, thinking about what to cook, buying it with my own money, and then having to clean up after myself is defeating me. I'm very close to signing up for some meal prep nonsense. So that's a big takeaway. But waking up, my sleep has gone from about 4-5 hours a night to 8 within 6 weeks. I wake up in the mornings not hearing any humming of generators or low fresh water tank alarms. It's really nice. I'm spending good quality time with my wife. I'm getting to spend so much time in the mountains, and I have control over my time. And that for the first time in 8 years has been an absolute blessing. I will always be grateful for what yachting gave me, and who knows, maybe one day I return as crew. But for now, I think this is the best decision I could have made, and I get to focus a lot more on this blooming business. So life is good. How about you?
Yeah, really good, man. It's I can relate to the having someone cook and clean and everything, and I do. I said to my wife, hey, when I'm on the boat, I don't have to worry about what I want to eat. Don't have to worry about cleaning my cabin. Don't have to worry about my clothes and everything. Everything's folded up neatly right by my door and everything like that. And she said, basically, that's not happening here.
Good for her.
So I was just saying, hey.
Yeah, it's a tricky balance. You can't mention to them too much about how they've neitly fold up our underwear, because they're like, why don't you go marry them?
Well, I don't know. It's a little more complicated. But no, I was just saying, hey, it's, it'd be, not that I wouldn't love to have her do that. But my idea was basically we get somebody, eventually we make enough, passive income to where we pay for those things, and we have more time to make more passive income to do all those
That's
things
it.
like cutting the grass and all those other things. Just so, but that got misconstrued. But whatever.
Good luck with that battle. That's
Yeah,
your battle
well,
to fight.
hey, if I don't think she would be upset if neither of us had to do that ever again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, life hack to everyone listening, move to South Africa because even low income people can afford help.
Yeah. Same thing as in Jamaica, the helpers have a helper at home.
That's it.
Of course, living there, you have that other set of requirements living there that you
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Jamaica. Some places you have to look over your shoulder wherever you're going, stuff like that. Sometimes, well, it's a different set of problems, but you got to take the balance with it. But
Yeah.
so, what's next on your timeline? I know you're still building out your coaching program and the courses and things like that. What's the next step? Because I understand, I know you're going through change also after getting married, and then also you're also filing for residency and everything else. So that's exciting.
Correct. So yeah, it's been interesting. It takes some getting used to going from 14-hour days to 0-hour days if I don't want to.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think a lot of a lot of us have our purpose attached to work, and that's not always a good thing.
No,
Sorry, let me just hang up on this call. Apologies.
no, that's okay. Yeah, no, I understand. I can understand that, like, because I know when I come home, the first thing I do is sleep for my rotation, and then after I've done that for a day or two, then I usually go right into working and stuff like that on all the real estate stuff and all the other stuff. And also building out courses and phone calls and stuff just because people keep asking me for it and stuff like that. And I figure it'd just
Yeah.
be something else to offer for them. But yeah, just I can completely relate to that because going from full on to zero is tough.
It's tough. I must say that the first month was a bit of a juggle, but I just resorted back to systems. So I know you're also a fan of the big ass calendar.
Yeah.
So I've got that. I've got the planner, and what I did was just kind of create. I think I was trying.
You want to know the one thing that separates investors who win from investors who get wiped out? It's not the deal flow. It's not connections. It's this. Due diligence. Not the skim the deck and hope for the best kind. The real due diligence. Asking the real questions like who's the sponsor and their team? What is their experience? Does the sponsor have verified exits? What's the downside of the scenario? Are there any hidden fees? If you can't answer these questions and more, you're not really investing. You're speculating or possibly gambling. I built a tool to fix that. It's called the Passive Investor Due Diligence Scorecard. It's free, it's interactive, it's 125 questions across 4 categories. Who is the sponsor's team? What is the market? What are the financials? And what are the potential red flags? You check off what you verify, score updates live. It gives you a clear assessment to help you find out if this is the right fit for your family. It takes about 20 minutes or less, and it could save you years of regret. Use it before you wire another dollar because the questions you don't ask are the ones that cost you the most.
I think I was trying to do too much in every day,
Yeah.
and instead now I just focus on blocks at a time. So I'm like, okay, we're going to only work on cleaning up the courses until there we go. That's it. And I use this thing, highly recommended.
Oh, yes.
They send me this planner along, and you also have the large calendar views at the back.
Is that part of the same big ass calendar type thing?
It is. It is. It's really, really cool. I get to do like vision planning for the whole year, which has been pretty fun with the same tags and
Yeah. Oh, nice.
What if you could buy your first investment property in just 30 days? With a proven playbook built by a pro with 25 years in the game, it's not just possible, it's a plan. Scott Kidd's complete bundle gives you everything you need. 7 professional tools, delivered instantly, no fluff, no guesswork. Just the exact roadmap to your first property. From yacht captain to managing director of capital markets, Scott Kidd has navigated deals most investors only dream about. Now he's handing you his full playbook. If you're a high earner who keeps researching but never pulling the trigger. If you feel overwhelmed by the process, this was built specifically for you. Virtual walkthrough guide and the napkin deal calculator. Inside, the 30-day checklist, property locator playbook. By box builder, market scorecard, agent vetting script. And right now, free bonus access to all tools, including the portfolio investor clarity tool. Visit investwithscottkidd.com and get the bundle today. Your first property starts now.
Nice.
And then your day-to-day calendar is really large to write tasks out on. So since I got this, it kind of helped me streamline things slightly better. And it's so I've completely cleaned up my business model and my funnels, and everything that I created while I was still a full-time crew member was kind of rushed. I followed the old Facebook strategy of build quickly and break things. And now for the first time, I've been able to sit down and look at each of them in a silo and be like, does this work? What is inefficient? And kind of polishing it up to the standard that I would have liked it to be all along. And it's taught me a lot. And the coaching program, after my 100th session, I've moved away from the pay what you feel model, which was a very interesting experiment. It teaches you a lot about humans. It teaches you that there are ones that are very generous and appreciative of help. It teaches you also that if you open the door to certain people to get away from paying for things, that they will take that gap. However, at the place I was at, and kind of to help me deal with the imposter syndrome, being new to the whole financial coaching space, it really helped me to be like, okay, let's put it in the customer's hands. But now, after market research and getting feedback, I think I found my mojo, and it's been so nice being able to open my calendar to dozens of new yachties and be able to sit and listen to them and be like, what's your stresses? How can we help you? How can I help you develop a plan to build long-term financial abundance? And whenever I don't know what to say, I am lucky enough to have partnered with a bunch of financial service providers and tax specialists and cross-border investment fund managers, and I can just point people in the right direction. So the business is coming together rather nicely.
That's really fantastic, because it's come together a lot quicker than a lot of people would have failed by now. A lot of times in a lot of businesses they do that, but I know, especially from my own experience, being a lot of times you want to give stuff away for free and stuff, but then a lot of times it ends up costing you a lot more time, and then you have to kind of evaluate what kind of value you're giving for a certain price, and it's tough to find that guidance. But generally, I've found that if you don't price it high enough, people won't think you value yourself enough.
Yeah.
So then they don't really buy in. They're like, well, obviously it's not high quality, or what have you. This is just like all the rest of these things. So you have to, one, put it in there put it high enough to where you get the serious people, the people that will pay enough to go, hey, I'm committed, because the money also doesn't just show, it's a transaction, but it shows commitment. Like if they pay, however much, $1,000, that's a different commitment than $100.
Yeah, I agree. And for those it's been very interesting moving into this like digital product space, because it's so like I'm slightly younger, so like we grew up a bit more tech savvy, I guess, but it's still kind of complex. Like you don't really understand how much software you need to just deliver something simple like a PDF to someone.
Yes.
And what I did learn is, yes, there's a very fine balance in how to price things, but it is essential that you give out enough free resources. My newsletter, for example, I pledged from the beginning will forever be free. It takes me hours each week to research and to write, but that will always be my free, I call it my main vein of finding people to connect with. And then I try once a month to build a new lead magnet. And for those listening that don't know what a lead magnet is, this is something that you distribute to potential clients for free to show them this is what I can provide to you value-wise. And what I've noticed is the better my lead magnets are and the more of them there are, people are like, okay, wow, I just got 6 free things from it. This ranges from net worth trackers and calculators to book recommendations to calculators I've built to determine how much money do I need to exit yachting, etc. Because then if you do launch a product with a price tag attached, they naturally think, oh wow, if that's the amount of value I got from free stuff, how much am I going to get if I actually pay for it? And I can visibly see the people who download my free resources are 9 out of 10 times the one who I then convert to sign up for courses, which for me is passive income. So it's an interesting space. I'm learning as we go. We are also in a very bizarre time in terms of tech growth and technology. Every single week, I think I've nailed how to use software. A new AI version comes out and has just null and voided everything I just learned. So it's a blessing and a curse, like many things. But I do think if you are able to learn how to harness all of these tools that are popping up each and every day, this is like the super accumulation of productivity is happening right now. And I think AI merging over into traditional workflows is really creating the singularity, they call it, where humans and robots become indistinguishable. And a lot of people see it as doom and gloom, and they think, okay, humans are, and yes, in the short term, there are going to be severe job losses. Once they start automating things like driving, which is the #1 occupation in the world, if it's now robo-taxis and Waymos everywhere, yes, you're going to have short-term job losses, but in the long term, hopefully it unlocks so much productivity and efficiency that humans can go back to doing shit that we actually like to do. So I'm an optimist in that regard. I really want to not talk shit about AI, because maybe if they do become like the Terminator, I want to be on the good side of them.
I did a couple of videos about Dear AI, please don't delete us.
That's why I still say please and thank you to the large language models.
Out of just sheer humor, just keep us alive, because we really are good at screwing stuff up and destroying things. But just remember, on those cold, dark, and hot nights, we kept you plugged in, we kept you warm, we kept you good. That was us the whole time, Just please don't delete us. Just leave us. Just let us keep us around, because you're going to have to have developed a sense of humor with us around.
Please.
But I think you're exactly right. I think if you optimize all these tools, you're going to be more efficient. I mean, I just see it on the boat and all this stuff. You have a lot of things like software like Yacht Itinerary that uses a bunch of AI to plan out like charter itineraries and stuff like that. Then like video editing software and stuff that a lot of crew are using now to do these really, really, really cool videos and stuff. And that's a great skill to learn. Any of you guys on the yachts, just if you get really good at that, because you still have to have that eye. AI is not quite there with building out these videos, that they're not quite right and stuff like that. And by the way, Charl and I, these are the real versions of us.
No, yeah, this is me.
This is me.
Look,
Look, I have all my fingers and fingers. It's not AI, but no, I would say there's with the advent of any new technology, like with the printing press, they thought that people weren't there. All the scribes were going to go on and everything else, but it also ended up, accentuating. Like then libraries came. Books.
exactly.
Books, ink makers, bookmakers, paper
Yeah.
makers, all these things. There's all these things. Like, sure, drivers will probably go away, but they'll still need people to service all the vehicles till they have robots. They'll need somebody to manage that, the tech jobs. For now, people still have to sit in the seat. We don't
Yeah.
have the completely autonomous vehicles, but, somebody's going to have to build, design, and, do a lot of those things. And those creative jobs and the relationships, like our relationship, you can't do that with AI. There's relationship things like, a yacht broker or a charter broker or charter manager still has to deal with the client, and they're not going to, the clients aren't going to go with some AI version and just click something, because they aren't going to get somebody that's going to get exactly what they want. They're not going to really be able to. Still a nuanced approach. There's certain, niche businesses. You're not going to have those personalized services like a lot of like ladies in general like to go to the same salon, their same person. Us guys, we like to go to the same barber shop, same barber kind of stuff. You won't see but there will be, I think, so many jobs and opportunities created that we have no idea about yet, or we haven't even thought.
That's exactly it. And I think what makes this scary for the first time in human history, this affects white collar before blue collar.
Yeah.
And in the past, in the agricultural revolution, people were terrified when they invented a tractor, because it used to take 1,000 men to plow the field. Now you need 2 tractors.
Yeah.
But those men then became the salesmen to sell the grain, because the output was so much better.
Or the car or the transport guys, or they became
exactly.
They moved to the city and did something completely different.
Exactly, and then it moved into the Industrial Revolution. Same thing. It used to be hundreds of men lined up next to each other as line workers in a factory, and then they invented machines, which does it twice as efficient, and it doesn't need to be paid, and it doesn't need to sleep, and these people then are the ones that went outside. They became product designers, or they became the business owners to sell these products. So I think what just makes this one scary is that a lot of my generation, the millennials especially, were kind of told, if you get a computer science degree or a programming degree, you are sorted, because the future is computers. No one in the dot-com bubble was expecting AI to come and become a much better code writer like this. So now thousands of software engineers in Silicon Valley are losing their jobs. And for the first time, it's the plumbers, the electricians, the deckhands
the tradesmen
are the most safe, because it's going to take a very long time for a humanoid robot to be sophisticated enough to scrub teak, do a wipe down, drive a guest on a tender, and then look pretty and smell nice while you're serving welcome drinks. So we're safe. Yachties, you guys are safe.
Well, they're also going to want that personalized touch as well. That's like I said, one of those niche positions that probably won't go away. But to your point, we moved from the agrarian society to the industrial society. Now we're in the tech stage. So we're going to see that same amount of disruption as we kind of go further into that AI, or that whatever they call it, Web 3.0, 4.0, or whatever era. But I think we're going to see, when you think about it, you had what was it? Instagram sold to Facebook for $1 billion valuation. 13 employees. And that was like 2019, something like that, 2020. So now think of how many companies you can actually have running from your phone that are just solopreneurs that are $1 million plus.
It's crazy to think about. All of us pretty much use large language models like ChatGPT now on the daily. It has replaced search engines. ChatGPT, for example, has 1 billion users already. There's less than 100 employees that work for OpenAI.
Yep.
Companies like OnlyFans, I know that's quite a sensitive one, but OnlyFans only has 10 employees. That's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yep.
So each employee is worth a few $100 million.
Yeah.
So the efficiency and value per employee and GDP per capita, per se, in a company is so distorted compared to what people are used to in the past. And that is why you and I especially always hammer on personal branding and why it is now possible. 5 years ago, you and I could not run these side hustles with a career like yachting. But with the current tools, yes, we can, because before I go to bed at night, I make sure all my little AI agents run around and do things throughout the night so that when I wake up, I just carry on from there. Personal branding and connecting yourself to something of value and being public about it is the future. It takes a while to get past the cringe factor. I took a while to get used to recording myself and walking around and being like, unfortunately, this is the age we live in, and you either got to deal with it and adjust or be left behind.
Yeah, there's, the cringe factor, the thing that separates you is what makes you, really. I mean, with the personal branding, because that's one of my courses is personal branding. 'Cause I know what I went through and all the things that I've learned, and they all still work because they're all about really building the relationship with other people, like, reaching out to people and speaking to them. And, I did, for me, and nobody needs to do this or what have you, but, when you first start anything, you're going to be terrible at it. Yeah. You're not going to be good at it. I mean, no one's that naturally good at anything. Michael Jordan, he got cut from his basketball team in the 10th grade, things like that. So you got to think of stuff like that. And we still, in my family, we still laugh at my original videos because they're still up there if anybody wants to get some good laughs, because if we're feeling down or something, I just watch those videos and,
just for a good chuckle.
Because I did it. I said, well, I'm going to get good at this, or at least get better. I think I'm still always learning, but, originally I did, I think, a video every day for 2 years. So,
you get better.
And still, I probably still need a little help, maybe a little coaching or something, stuff. But at a certain point, I think you let your guard down. You do, like anything else. It's, I got a good friend of mine, Cornelius Ken, said, look, it's not hard. It's just new.
Yeah.
So you got to just start doing it and just keep doing it.
And also once you start realizing, this was my big realization. I'm like, you give a lot more fucks about yourself than anyone else does.
Yeah, no one cares.
No one cares. You only have them for about 10 or 15 seconds on Instagram anyway.
Max.
Max.
Five maybe.
5. So if you don't hook them right then and there, they forget about it anyway, and then they're laughing at some cat video after
that. Or some guy that fell down the stairs, or somebody getting punched in the face, or whatever.
The good stuff.
Yeah.
So no, it's a funny dynamic, and once you get past that and just not take yourself too seriously, the moment I stopped polishing my things, and the more raw I get, and I'm myself, I know I have a potty mouth, I have a husky voice, I have a funny accent to some people. I just roll with it, and it gets a lot more engagement than when I used to try and put a pretty frame around it and make sure the captions are perfectly symmetrical. No one cares. Just pump it out.
Done is better than perfect. Granted, it can't be straight up garbage, but then again, I would you'd be the garbage guy. Look how bad these videos are.
Yeah.
He still keeps going. There was some star.
Still guessing your next move. As an investor, most people have no idea where they actually stand. The Investor Readiness Scorecard changes that. In 5 South, just 10 minutes, score yourself across 5 critical categories: financial foundation, education, strategy, network, and action readiness. Instantly discover your investor phase and get your exact next move. No more guessing. No more spinning your wheels. Take the free assessment now at investwithscottkid.com.
Star Search or one of those American talent shows, and there was a guy with a really bad accent. He was dancing and he'd do the Macarena or whatever, Ricky Martin or something. And he would say at the end, "And I've had no professional training." And it was the funniest thing. And next thing you know, he's on tour all over the place just because he went for it.
He was raw.
Yeah. And that's what I've, learned. Just double down on just being genuine, be yourself. And that's all you can really do. I mean, because if you try to be somebody else, people can see that, and then you won't be happy with it.
Yeah, no, 100%. Off topic, but I just remembered something I needed to share with you, and it's very applicable on the podcast. I joined a real estate investing community.
Nice.
Called More Than Money. Shout out to those people. Super cool community, and it is my first dip into the private lending market. I was very hesitant. It's quite a substantial lifetime membership fee. A lot more than I would ever pay for anything. But I've been keeping an eye on this guy and his family for many years now. They really seem like salt of the earth, good people that connect real estate professionals. And I thought you might find that interesting because it was a big move that my wife and I took together. And now it puts us within a closed community where you can help privately fund deals for short-term yield. So I'm going to...
Hard money loans, private lending. And so, that's great.
Correct.
Looking at that as well, because it's a great way, especially if you join one of these communities while you're on the boats, to generate some income. Granted, do your due diligence on the loans that you're loaning out. There's one they're called Gator Lending with Pace Morby, which is a similar thing. And they build a community, and they do the same thing. They all do loans with each other, and you don't necessarily have to bring the money, but you do have to say, "Hey, I'm good at maybe, making the cold calls and finding the deal. I'm good at underwriting, or I'm good," and you can team up with other people in the group. And I'm sure that sounds like the same thing. And there's a lifetime membership there as well. And it's only a few grand, but when you think about it, if you are going to spend a lot of time doing that, you can find a lot of help. I've been on some of the meetings and stuff and spoken to a lot of the people in the groups, and they're all there trying to do deals, and they're all trying to do deals together. The mentality is, hey, a piece of, 10% of something is better than 100% of nothing. Where if you have 5 people on a deal, hey, and you do, instead of doing just one deal by yourself, you do 6 deals with those guys in a month, or 2 months. It's probably going to be way more, and then it's going to be a lot easier, because then also you don't have that feeling that you're doing it all yourself, because that can be hard. I've done that.
Yeah, it's exactly that, and it's it gives me some peace of mind too, because then all your eggs aren't in one basket. Firstly, you're inherently diversified, and because I'm still fairly new to the markets in the US in terms of real estate, it is nice to know there's lots of more. I'm the dumbest in the group chat. I like that. I'm by far the dumbest person in this group chat.
That's the best room to be in.
So I calculated, if I if I'm able to lend the amounts that I have kept aside to lend, I'll make my membership back within the first deal. So then from there onwards, you're fine. And you can really leverage and harness all of these professionals, because there's people that specialize in flips, and there's people that specialize in short-term vacation housing. And there's ones that do low-cost living developments.
Assisted living. Some of them do, or just rehab. Some of them do construction loans. Some of them do accounts receivable lending and stuff like that. There's all kinds of ways to do business lending and stuff like that. But feel free. I know I don't have to tell you, but feel free to use me as a resource if you want to look over any of these deals and give you my take on it, or whatever. Glad to give my input, because I want to make sure you learn your due diligence, because I know that's where you are and what you want to do. Because due diligence in real estate is like any business or anything. It's very important that you do it.
It is.
Don't do something because it feels right, because you're probably going to be wrong.
Look at the numbers, and I'm really interested in this, because I'm hoping if I trial it myself 2 or 3 times, that might be something really cool I introduce to my community as an add-on, because I champion and advocate for low-cost index fund investing. I have a certain real estate strategy I follow. This was not something I ever considered incorporating into my holistic financial picture. But if you can get a guaranteed 15, nothing in life is guaranteed in investing.
Gotta be careful with that word.
You know what I mean? If I have a highly likely 15% return on a 3-month maturity period, that's a lot better than I get in the markets. So
it is.
I don't think I'd ever be able to put my entire net worth in such a deal. That wouldn't be prudent. But if I do feel confident after 2 or 3 of these deals, and it seems like it's a really well-oiled machine, I would then be confident to be like, hey, community, still do your own research, but I joined this. Here's my receipts. I'm always radically transparent about how much I make. I'm like, here you go. This is how much I made. Yes, there are risks involved. Yeah, they are. But up to you, join the community, and it can really become a nice...
and that's one of those things where you could be, sponsoring other people into the group, especially. I mean, but the key with that, like with anything I'm doing and anything in real estate, it's about the sponsor. If you're loaning money to someone, make sure it is someone with a great track record that has done this before. They've done, not because it's your buddy has done 2 flips and swears he's going to make $1 million every week forever. Somebody that maybe has done 100 flips, or somebody that has like 50 short-term rentals, and they're like, they're having a cash flow problem for that, and they just need a short-term loan for 3 or 4 months. Check their track record, do background check on them, do criminal, financial, do all of it, because it's very important, their credit check and everything, because especially with these hard money loans, I have friends that are now calling some of these loans. I mean, granted, a lot of things happened at the same time, and these are experienced people that were running these deals, and they got hit a few times. So I don't know of anyone that's experience in real estate or any other investing career that hasn't had a bad deal. If someone, that's also one question I always ask them is, what's the worst deal that has happened, and what did you do to mitigate that? And that's a good question to ask. So always vet the sponsor, the fund manager, the person that is doing the deal, because if they or openly tell you, hey, I'm, Joe, and we had these 2 flips we were doing. One of them ended up costing way too much. It sunk the other one. We got stuck with both of them. We rented them. We still have them for 6 years later. They're still losing money. If someone's open enough to tell you that, And, hey, that you maybe need to take a look at the rest of their portfolio, because maybe those are just the two losers that, hey, it didn't end up, because life doesn't always go the way you want it
according to
to.
plan.
I mean, because that's just that's why they call it life, I mean, especially those hard money loans. I have friends that also have, they're calling the loans and having to foreclose on some of these properties. But it was just because of something like that. They had 4 or 5 projects going on at the same time. One of them, was a variable rate, and the cost went higher, and the project took longer. Instead of 6 months, it's now 9 months, and they're eating away all the profit. And the market's gotten soft, so it's harder for them to sell. They've had to inch the price down to get rid of it. So you have to take all those things into consideration. But like, if they're like you, Charl, where they're very transparent, then hey, you have to take that into consideration, because I don't know of anyone that hasn't had bad deals.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's real. I accept not everyone's going to be a home run. There will most likely be a bunch of strikeouts, but I feel it's a very well vetted community.
Yes.
They don't just accept anyone that is able to pay a 10 grand membership. And there are a whole host of people from all over the world, which gave me a lot of peace of mind, because, as we mentioned earlier, I've just started my whole immigration process, and it's kind of a sticky spot to be in. So I got a lot of peace of mind. So I will happily share those details with you. It might be something that benefits your realm. Of work
definitely. And I have people in my network that don't necessarily want to do the development stuff that we do, because that's a long track. Usually you have 1 or 2 years where we're not cash.
Blueprint. The passive investor due diligence checklist. You found a deal, the returns look great. But before you wire a single dollar, do you know what you're really investing in? Most passive investors skip the hard questions. No PPM review, no sponsor vetting, no exit strategy. They hope for the best. Blueprint fixes that. For pillars of protection, 87 plus vetting questions. A live scoring dashboard that gives you an instant verdict. Invest, caution, or avoid. Work through each tab. Note your red flags. Review your score. Decide with confidence, not gut feeling.
We're not cash flowing, and it's for a different type of segment of investor and stuff. And we're also looking at in our fund having something where we pay a preferred return. And it's basically a debt fund where it's a loan on all the stuff for our short-term, entitlements and all these other things, land costs. And it could be a good thing, because some people, that's all they want. They don't necessarily want to participate in the long game. They just want every month, they want to know that they're getting their 8% or 10% annual return. And when you tell people this, they say, oh, it sounds like a scam, because nobody gets that. The market doesn't get that. Well, the market isn't just the only things you can invest to. Real estate is known to create a lot higher returns and stuff if things work well. And this is why a lot of these things were not really necessarily public. They were just kept in that inner circle of commercial real estate. You had to be invited in until the Jobs Act. And even the really big deals and good deals, it's only a few players that really invite each other in, you and I, but the Jobs Act opened it up to where people like you and I can talk about it and start these groups and go and buy larger properties and stuff like that. And, without that, the group that you're in probably wouldn't have been created with the private lending and stuff, because it's now, the good thing about social media is you can learn about these things and find the people that, you gravitate towards, and like, oh, they're doing that. And they're getting 12% and they're loaning hard money, because hard money is standardly usually about 12% in every market. And they usually charge 2 points, which means they charge you 2% of the loan initially. And sometimes when you sell the loan, when you pay off the loan in 3-6 months, they charge a point on the back end. Some do, some don't. It just depends, but I think I think you're onto a great thing, because I've looked at it myself, and I'm always looking at more things, and I will do some part of that as well, just because I like the debt strategy because it can
Yeah.
be consistent cash flow over a long term.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm excited, and I'll keep you updated. And
Definitely.
maybe next time we can analyze a deal together live. That can be.
Oh yeah, let's do it. All right, let's set a date then. Yeah, next month. Let's do it. We'll
Yeah.
go through a deal. We'll set a date. We'll keep in contact because that's one thing I was gonna ask you about us doing a live set at some point, and
For sure.
maybe we should do a monthly. Just do something every month. I think that would be cool, and it'd be kind of fun too.
That'd be really cool. We can talk shit all day, so let's just do it live.
Yeah. Let's get other people in, bring other people in to talk shit with us too.
Yeah. That'd be fun. I'll ask these guys from the community. They'd probably love it.
Yeah, no, that'd be great, and we'll bring in some fresh meat, some yachties to get.
Yeah.
Bring them in and just run them through the gauntlet.
Yeah.
we're doing that. We're doing that for sure.
Nice.
It'll be a month from now, whenever that is.
I'm excited, and I'm excited to keep you updated on all of it. And
Like always glad to help you. I always like what you're doing. Always, I think it's great that you're getting into this debt side of real estate. And it'll also get you into some other really great deals where you can also get some equity in if it's partners that you want to be alignment with, and I'll send you what we're working on as well. We can go through those things as well at some point, because I think it's something you could excel at for sure.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And then final shout out from me, if I may.
Go for it.
For all the listeners, I've partnered with a really cool nonprofit organization in Ghana. It's called Home Ghana, and they are an education center that are building a school for a village. And the guys from Relief Crew Foundation, who's a bunch of yachties that in their rotation, they go down there to help build the buildings, etc. I've partnered with this nonprofit. I'm running a 50-mile ultra marathon in April. I'm raising funds for this charity, and we are trying to raise around $5,000 at least, which will put a bunch of kids through school. Crazy statistics here, quickly for the listeners. It only costs $1,100, so $1,100, to put a child through school for 3 years, including school fees, exams, books, uniform, and food for 3 years. They only cost $1,100 per person. So we are trying to do a bit of sustainable fundraising and trying to get people to sponsor a child, whether that's for 1 year, 3 years, whatever. So I'll send you the link to that. If you can please drop it in the show notes, that would be really cool.
Oh, definitely. I'm definitely doing that.
And then
no, go ahead.
the standard donation is $50 because it's $1 per mile that I'll be running. So doing that to raise awareness, and really, really proud of the guys down in Ghana for doing such an amazing job for these kids. And hopefully we can wrangle some yachties together to not just spend money on nightclubs and bottle service, but also on funding children's futures.
Fantastic, man. Well, once again, this is fantastic. Love all the stuff you're doing. Love the fact that you keep going, keep growing, and look forward to more growth and doing our lives. And really excited that you're doing more real estate stuff, because I nerd out on that every day. So, where can people find you if they want to get in contact with you?
So people can find me on Instagram's the easiest, at the Yachting Investor, or you can go to my website, www.theyachtinginvestor.com, and there you'll find all the resources, all the free digital assets we've discussed, as well as my coaching program and courses. please reach out. I love talking to people. I love meeting new people and new students and people that want to start their investing journey. So for yachties, for all expats that make money in weird industries, I'm your guy. Reach out to me.
Fantastic. Well, once again, really appreciate you coming. I look forward to seeing more growth and doing more stuff together. I'm Scott Kidd, the Yacht Captain Investor. And just a pleasant reminder that the best investment you can make is the one you make in yourself. So keep investing in yourself. See you next time.
Nice one.